Hey everybody.
Sean and Kelly here, Price and Price Group of eXp Realty. What are we talking about today?
Today, it's Friday the 13th, so we're gonna make sure that we bring a topic to the table that I have a really great horror story for.
Oh, right. Here we go.
We're talking about title insurance. Is it a
scam or a necessity? All right, and we got a horror story, huh?
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
let's get to it.
Okay, so title insurance, let's talk about it.
First
What's
of all,
the title search process, right? Like,
Yep.
what do they do? What even is title insurance and a title search? Why are they a part of your real estate transaction?
All right, so we're speaking from the buyer side.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is when you purchase a home, the title gets transferred into your name. The title is the ownership of the property.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a lien against the property, it's going to go against that title. If there is some kind of a judgment or a boundary issue, if there's anything that comes up, that is going to affect the title and affect the marketability of the title.
That's right. When you buy the house and you buy everything that comes along with the house, right? So
Yep.
all of these things that you just mentioned, you're getting that too. So this is why it's very important that they run a title search when you're in the process, because, well, for that reason you'd be out, right? I mean, you wouldn't want to buy the house until it was had clear title is what the goal is.
Yeah, because if you bought a house and you accepted, let's say, a lien from, say, the IRS for $50,000, that lien now becomes your lien, and you won't be able to sell the property. And if you have a lender involved, the lender's not going to let you buy a house with a lien against it. So the title search is the process of making sure that that title is clear all the way through the process, okay? So then that brings up the next question. Why would there be a need for title insurance if the title search has already been done?
Right. Is it required? Is title insurance a requirement?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we have two answers for that.
Yep.
The lender, if you have the lender involved like you were talking about, 100%, there are two different policies. The lender does require you to have and maintain a lender's policy because they're protecting their asset, right?
Yeah, they're protecting because there may be something that comes up in the future against that title, even if it has a clear title, which we're going to give you a horrible
You just
horror
alluded
story.
to the horror story.
It's fantastic.
It's going to give you shivers and chills.
It's going to fear, yes.
Great.
Okay, so the lender's
And it happened
policy,
right down the street. So this is like actual factual.
Yes,
and I
true
can't wait.
story. Yeah, so lender's title insurance is required because they have to protect the asset that they're living on.
Yeah.
Homeowners.
So the owner's policy, right? You'll see on your Alta or HUD statement, it says optional.
Yep.
It is not required.
Yeah, it is not required. And there are two options. There is the standard and the expanded. What's the
I think it's expanded or
they use different language, but there's the standard and then there's a higher level one. So those two are absolutely optional for the buyer. So we get questions. In fact, the reason for this video is we had two buyers ask us yesterday, should we buy title insurance?
Yes.
So we're going to give you our opinion, which is that where we're at now.
Is it time for the opinion?
Okay.
So Sean.
Yes.
What do you think? Is it necessary to buy an owner's policy, which is going to be what? A couple to $3,000?
Yeah, a couple to $3,000.
That was a couple to three, not a couple to 30. I think my lip did a couple to three.
It does.
Three, a couple to $3,000.
Yes, and it does depend on the size of the transaction. So obviously a higher one
and
can
your
be more.
title company, right?
And so on. Exactly. Yeah. So my opinion is 100% of the time, you absolutely get title insurance. What's your opinion?
Now I think, and this may come as a surprise, I totally agree with you.
Yes, you got one. High five.
Yes, always get your title insurance, owner's policy, get title insurance, and here's why.
Well, let me throw this out there real quick.
Oh man.
We have no financial incentive to tell you to get title insurance. We do not own a title company. We do not get paid based on, this is only from experience of seeing what some of our clients have gone through.
Yes.
And
what we've done ourselves always.
What we've done. It's a one-time fee. It covers you for life. And you're going to see in this horror story why that is so important.
Okay, but now I'm going to hold you off for a second because I think you left a great tiny little open window for me to point out that there are rules in place that protect you, the consumer, our clients, from being hoodwinked and swindled by us being in bed with with the lenders and the title insurance and the inspectors. When we recommend someone, we have no financial
financial
gain at all.
That's
Like
right.
even if let's say we had an investment in a title company, we would have to give you disclosures that said, hey,
Yep.
we have all this. So you
don't
don't have to worry about that.
There's no ulterior motive here.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay,
No
so
Yeah.
this horror story. Now this is something I'm going to paint the scene. Do you mind?
Yes,
You'll get into
please.
the
You
details.
paint the scene.
We had a client. They put this home under contract. It was over $3 million.
Yes.
We were 20 days into a 30-day transaction.
This client, by the way,
Mhm.
was across country in
Yes.
California with dogs and children and spouse.
And everything being shipped to their new home. They had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of furniture, custom furniture for their new home.
For this home.
We are 20 days into this transaction, going to
So
settle in 10
it's
days.
happening. Like the
Yes.
dog is being
Yep. All
loaded up.
contingencies
And,
are expired.
yeah.
And we get a call from the seller's agent that there has now been a claim put against the title on that property. This is not something that came up in the title search. This was somebody suing to have claim on that property. Now here's the kicker. Wait till you hear the details about this.
Okay. So our story begins back in 1997.
The 1900s. Ooh,
1997.
black
This
and
is
white
the year
film.
I graduated high school, right? I think I had my very first cell phone, right? Back that. Okay. 1997. We're not using the actual names here.
Yes.
Bob Seeger and wife owned this piece of land just down the road from us.
Down the block from us. Yep.
I think they paid $280,000 for
1997.
piece of land, 1997.
3/4 of an acre.
Now this is on, so what, once we get right there, it's McLean, right?
So it's McLean
So
Great
it's
Falls.
McLean, so there
Yep.
it is.
Yep. So that shows you the value of the lots back then.
1997.
Yes.
In 2014, he transferred this into
An entity.
business entity,
Yep.
right?
So Bob Seeger and his wife.
They transferred it into a business entity, and wife, Cheryl, well, she gave a quitclaim deed.
Yep.
So tell us what a quitclaim deed is.
So a quitclaim deed is a quick document that basically, instead of like going through a foreclosure process or anything, it's where you can just sign this document and give over the rights to your property. So she signed a quitclaim deed.
And this is quit, like
Quit.
I'm quitting on you,
Yeah, I'm
right?
quitting.
Like
I'm quitting my claim to this property.
Yes.
So she signed this quitclaim deed to give her husband Bob the right to
Yes.
move this property into the name of an entity. So Bob, what was her name?
Cheryl.
Cheryl, I couldn't remember which name her. Bob and Cheryl, after they move into this entity, no longer own that property. It is
Yeah.
now an entity that owns the property. Bob and Cheryl
Yes.
are out. There's no money in that transaction. It's just a name change.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. In 2016, just 2 years later, that entity
Mhm.
that then owned it
We'll call it
sold it.
BS Co. Oh, that was a C. Never mind. It's Cheryl with an S. Yeah, BS Co.
Okay. BS Co. entity sold it to a builder. This was
No,
to.
that was just a company.
I'm sorry. Sold it to company A
Yep.
for $700,000. So they had it for $280,000 in 1997. Now it's a business, still theirs. They sold it for $700,000 in 2016.
So now Bob and Cheryl have walked away with $700,000.
Correct.
Okay.
And now company A
Mhm.
owns it, right?
Yep.
Company A then sells it to a builder 1 year later in 2017 for $1,080,000.
Okay.
So they also made quite
Some
a
money,
handy
yeah.
profit, right? In just a year.
So
a year's
company
time.
A has now transferred ownership and they took their money and they're gone.
Yes.
So now the builder
So
owns
now
it.
the builder has this property they bought
Yep.
in 2017
Yep.
for just over $1 million.
This is still vacant land at this point.
Yes, this was just a lot,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
They held on to it, and in 2021, they sold it. You would know the name to a pro bowler, let's say. I only just learned that like a pro bowler has nothing to do with bowling. Like they don't bowl. Like this is, I'm like, what the heck?
So we're watching Special Forces and Des Bryant, and it said NFL Pro Bowler, and Kelly's like,
I'm like, he doesn't look like any
He doesn't look
bowler
like a
I've ever
bowler.
met.
So anyway, so the home was sold to this Pro Bowler. We will not say
Yes,
names.
this pro bowler in 2021 for $2,950,000.
Okay, so this house is now, or this piece of property has now gone from $280,000 up to $2.95 million with a brand new house on it. Okay.
Everybody's getting title insurance.
Everybody's getting title insurance.
Okay.
Everybody's closing the transaction. Everything is clear. Title is clear on all the searches. So
Right.
legit transactions.
Pro bowler would not, number one, buy a property that didn't have clear title,
Yep.
and number two, would not get title insurance,
Right.
right? So of course he does.
Yep.
So then this pro bowler, well, his
finished.
Achilles tendon got whacked off.
That's not what happened, but good. He got hurt, so he's gone. He's leaving.
Okay. In just a year, right? So in 2022, they're like, oh man, my dang Achilles tendon. It's like all jacked up and stuff. I don't want to be here anymore. We're going to go somewhere else. So they listed it. Enter our clients.
Yeah, so our clients put an offer in for
California,
over $3 million.
They love this. Over $3 million, blah, blah, blah. We go through the whole thing. Again, as you set up, they are moving. Their stuff is in the truck.
Yes, they have furniture being delivered. Day 20, we get a notice that Cheryl.
This is the wife from years and years and years ago, the one that filed who filed the quitclaim deed.
3 owners ago that filed the quitclaim deed claims she never signed that document.
She's like, wait a minute, I still own rights to that
this property that's now on sale for $3 million.
And I want my piece. I never signed that kind of document. So the title company, these are attorneys, right?
Yes.
They're made of attorneys and processors and all this. They're like, okay, so we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Of course, Pro Bowler has title insurance.
Yep.
That doesn't mean anything for our clients, right? What title insurance does for Pro Bowler means if they don't have a happy resolution, they cash him out and give him the money for the property, right?
Yep.
So he's fine. That's what happens to you when you have title insurance.
And title insurance is covering all of his legal fees. We are now towards the end of 2023. That property has been rented twice because it's still in dispute.
Yes. So let's say this was not a happy ending.
It has not ended yet. Yeah.
Like, okay, so our clients, we had to find them another house and close within 10 days. Luckily, that was a cash deal. Sure as all shenanigans, they are getting title insurance on every property they own because now they have like, oh wow, this can happen.
Yep. Pro Bowler is still battling.
Pro Bowler is still battling, but has been made good on because he had title insurance.
Well, he will be made good. Yeah. So here's the potential outcomes. Right. The legal battle happens. They find Cheryl does not actually own the property, which means that Pro Bowler gets the property. Now he can sell the property and everything is fine. Mm-hmm. And all of his legal expenses have been covered because he got the expanded title insurance.
Right.
The lower level wouldn't have covered all this. If Pro Bowler does not prevail and Cheryl does win the property, Cheryl gets the property, gets the $3 million house, has all rights to the property. She may even be suing the other people in the transaction.
Right.
We don't know about that because they technically, if it's her property, never had the right to sell the property.
Yeah, something they should
So
have
if
done.
any of those guys don't have title insurance, they've got a whole world of hurt on them. And Pro Bowler, because he has title insurance, will be made whole. He will receive payment for the value of the house.
In the meantime, what you were saying is they're leasing it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's leasing for $15,000 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Which she may, if they find that there were whispers that that wasn't a real signature on that quitclaim deed. So if it is found out that she never really signed that away, it could be maybe does she get part of the rent money? Yeah. Does she get who knows? That's not our jobs to know. Our job is to tell you get title insurance every single time.
He probably paid $3,000 for his title insurance, and it's a $3 million transaction. Now, 99% of the time, that $3,000, it's just a safety net. But this is 4 transactions down. If you get title insurance, you keep your documentation, you keep it for life, because even if that property sells 5 or 6 transactions, somewhere in that chain of title, you could get sued by somebody who may have a claim on that property.
Right.
So, my opinion, yes, get title insurance.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a Pro Bowler or not. I mean, it doesn't matter what you paid for your house. If you have an $80,000 house and wherever you are, I don't know if we can in our backyard, right? It doesn't matter. Get your title insurance. Yeah. Protect your investment. Every investment is your investment. It's important to you, and you need to protect it.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's lifelong protection, one-time payment. So, yes, that is our story. That is our horror story. Get title insurance.
And we both agree.